Zordia, on behalf of Admiral Blofuswin, I thank you for your many deeds in service to Limsa Lominsa. We have received troubling tidings that beasts akin to those that plague Radzatan have been sighted on the Lenosian coast. The Admiral has mustered the Maelstrom in hopes of quelling the threat, yet there is much we do not understand about our foe, and as such your expertise in this arena would be a great boon to us. Will you help us? Do what I can. Wouldn't be much of a hero if I refused, would it? Excellent. The Admiral will be heartened to have your knowledge and martial prowess on our side, I am certain. Pray set sail for Limsa as soon as you are able. The Secretariat at Maelstrom Command will apprise you of the details upon your arrival. Our man at Radzatan told us to expect you. I'll inform the Admiral of your arrival. Glad you could join us, Zordia. I only wish it were under better circumstances. The grave news from the Bounty has not escaped our ears. I can scarce begin to imagine the horrors you have witnessed there. It pains me to say the self-same hell has come to Vilbrand. Fell beasts born of the deepest despair have been sighted all throughout our island. Tell her what we know. The first report came a few days ago, from one of our men patrolling Skull Valley. He spoke of a fearsome creature unlike any native to our shores. While we had our suspicions, it was only later that a connection to the final days was confirmed by a most unlikely source. The Sahagin. We've been treating their tempered for some time now, and many have made a full recovery. Owing to this, some factions are eager to improve diplomatic relations with Limsa. It is one such faction that has provided the most comprehensive reports in all their alarming detail. They speak of a most dreadful sight, their spawn brothers transforming into horrific beasts before their very eyes. Indeed, it is far too similar to the incidents of Radzatan to be mere coincidence. If our assumptions are correct, the first and most formidable of the beasts, a blasphemy, as it was decided we would call them, prowls our waters as we speak. Fortunately, there have been no sightings of blasphemy within the city. Nevertheless, if we are to spare our people the horror that befell Radzatan, the fiend must be dealt with, and quickly. Despite our investigative efforts, we remain very much in the dark as to the precise nature of the threat we face. Were we to recklessly dispatch large numbers of troops, we'd run the risk of having our own men corrupted. You can well imagine the carnage that would ensue. As such, Admiral Blofuswin has decided to keep those involved to a minimum and lead the investigation herself. You have my thanks. We will depart at once to meet with our Sahagin allies and gather what knowledge we can, that we might devise a proper plan of attack. They are due to arrive at South Tidegate soon. I'll go on ahead and wait for you there. Yo, spending time with Merlweb? What? This is great. I already love this role quest. It's been well past our agreed upon meeting time, but the Sahagin are nowhere to be seen. They did not seem the sort to break their word. This bodes ill. Let us leave this place to the guards and search Halfstone for any sign of them. Yep, this does bode super ill. Now consider the potential, and you haven't done it, but for the Domon roll... Kiki. Hien? Maybe? My husbando? No. I'm not gonna think about it. We're gonna focus on Merlweb first. We're gonna progress. Noel is in danger. Quickly to his aid. I got you, Noel. Whoosh, many thanks, sure, Walker. Sorry. Pray tell, is my companion safe? Whoosh. The Admiral herself comes to our aid. Glad tidings indeed. You too have my boundless gratitude for saving my life. Let us quit this place before those beasts return. Relieved I am to see the both of you safe. Had the Admiral not come to our rescue when she did, I shudder to think of what would have happened. Everyone's still alive, good. But not if we stay out here too long. Inside, quickly. Thank you, my friends. Those ghastly beasts would have made short work of us had you not intervened. And yet it brought me no joy to watch them die, For, unbelievable as it may sound, until a short time ago, they were none other than our very own spawn brothers. At first we thought them mere cursed, but our talismans and magics availed us not. Aye, 'twas no curse. 'Twas an evil like no other, innocent souls transformed against their will unto unholy beasts, called blasphemies. Blasphemies? Pray, tell us more. That would be your area of expertise, Zordia.
So this is what's going on. There is the end of the world happening right now. It's not in your area at the moment, but it's coming this way.
Turned into beasts by the power of despair. This is horrifying indeed. Thus far, the phenomenon here in Lenosha has been limited to the Sahagin. Why is that? I cannot say. Yet I wonder if the crushing tide are involved in some way. I know not of this crushing tide. Word of them has yet to reach you. I see. It all began when the Indigo Matriarch, the queen of our kind, was stricken with a grave malady. Tragic as this was, there was one small solace. She was not fond of shore walkers, and so deprived of her leadership, more of my kind came to see the wisdom in making peace with Limsalominsa. There remain, of course, those who would oppose our cause. They formed a group they call the Crushing Tide. Even now they seek to summon the Lord of the Whirl anew, and consign all finless ones unto the briny deep. However, they lack the crystals necessary to do so. Denied the power they crave, they can do naught but gnash their teeth in desperation. And you suspect these feelings of helplessness are the cause of their transformations? Just so. Those of our spawn brothers who turned into those beasts had been fraternizing with the Crushing Tide. Despite our differences, we cannot abandon our kin to such a cruel fate. Yet we must be careful not to drive them into still deeper despair. Yes, we must consider the situation carefully, lest we bring destruction upon all our kind. Tell me this, are the Crushing Tide even now under Leviathan's thrall? If freed from their drowned state, might they not listen to reason? Were it only so simple, all but a few are long since cured. They walk this path of their own free will. In that case, they may yet be dissuaded from their present course. For the sake of our nascent alliance, we will do all we can to save your brethren. Fortunately, a most capable ally stands with us, for this woman has bested many a formidable foe, including Leviathan. The great Zordia Doom in the flesh! Honored am I to stand in your presence.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Together, we will weather this storm and usher a new age of harmony. This I swear. There is much to be done. For now, let us return to our homes and prepare as best we can for the trials ahead. Should we discover aught of value, we'll be sure to share it with you. I ask that you do the same. Indeed we shall. Until such time, I watch over my spawn brothers and pray that no more succumb to the change.
Admiral told me everything. Thank the Navigator you were there to dispatch those terrible beasts.
Welcome back. Thanks to you and Noel, I now possess a proper understanding of the challenge we face. 'Tis a daunting task that lies before us. We'll continue to cooperate with the Sahagin to learn all we can. Once we have located the blasphemy, I will have need of your strength. Till then, I ask that you remain at the ready. Clearly, the storm clouds have only begun to gather.
Your timing could not be better. The Admiral has just this moment returned from meeting with the Sahagin. I shall inform her of your arrival.
Ah, Zordia, I'm glad you're here. Have you decided on our next course of action? As you know, we face two distinct but interconnected challenges. The transformations occurring among the Sahagin may be one, but the blasphemy itself is the root of the problem. Thus far, those who succumb to the change have all been affiliated with the Crushing Tide, who continue to resist our diplomatic efforts. Were we to put a stop to the phenomenon, as well as address their grievances, we may yet have a chance at peace. To that end, I would propose a double-pronged approach. On one front, we shall work in tandem with our Sahagan allies to redouble our patrols. Should the blasphemy surface, we share this knowledge and move immediately to dispatch the threat. At the same time, we shall pursue a dialogue with the crushing tide. We need to bring them back to the negotiating table and then see what can be done to convince them to stand down. A key point will no doubt be the lingering issue of securing land for their spawning grounds. 'Tis a discussion I tend to approach with an open mind. 'Twill be no easy task, but we succeeded with the kobolds, and I have faith that we can succeed with the Sahagan as well, so long as we parley in good faith. I can only hope the crushing tide share that sentiment. Bro, you're wise to temper your expectations, but I would not abandon hope we try. At any rate, Noel has sent word that one Dao, a priest who styles himself the leader of the crushing tide, has grudgingly agreed to hear us out. I will parley with him face to face at the Sap South spawning grounds, and would have you at my side, if you do not object, that is. Excellent. In that case, pray join me at the South Tide Gate when you are ready. From there we will go together. All prepared, are you? Doe is not known for his patience. We must take care not to incur his ire. I was told he would be at the spawning ground upon our arrival, but it appears he has been delayed. Let us speak with the Sahagan here. Mayhap one of them will be able to shed light on what may be keeping him. One more thing, I come here as a representative of Limsa on a diplomatic mission. Should the talks deteriorate and things come to blows, I cannot be seen in bloody my hands. I trust that you understand. And with that, let us be off. Ooh, okay, Merlweb is with me. Alright, I got my girl. First, let us see if any of the Sahagan here possess any knowledge of Dao's whereabouts.
What is this? Since when are filthy shore walkers free to intrude upon our sacred spawning grounds?
Pray forgive our intrusion. We seek an audience with Speaker Doe. Where might we find him?
You will do no such thing, shore walker. We have not forgotten what you did to Lord Leviathan. Be gone!
We won't get much out of this one. Let's try elsewhere.
Why do you trespass in our domain, vile shore walkers?
We mean you no harm. We come only for a peaceful parley with your leader, Master Doe. Where might we find him?
We desire no parley with shore walkers. You would steal our home. Were it not for your insatiable selfishness, we Sahagan would grow and flourish.
Your grievances are justified. That is why I would speak with Master Doe and work toward a peaceful solution.
Empty words from the thieving shore walker, but so be it. Soon you shall learn the futility of your efforts. Speaker Doe is currently overseeing security at the spawning grounds. You will find him in the entrance. Though, mark my words, you will wish you hadn't.
We shall. I thank you for your aid.
Shore walkers in our spawning grounds. To what do I owe the displeasure?
Speaker Doe, I presume, our apologies for entering your home unannounced. I am Merlweb Blowfistwin, Chief Admiral of Limsa, and this is ZorDon. We come seeking a parley that we might strive for peace between our peoples.
Parley, you say?
Prolonging this conflict any further will lead only to needless suffering. The menace both our people faces is great indeed. If ever there was a time to set aside our differences and come together for the greater good, it is now. I invite you to join us at the South Tide Gate for formal negotiations.
Shore walkers and Sahagan coming together? What assurance do I have that you will not slit our gills and the moment we set foot within your territory?
I can offer naught but my words. We open our gates to you and invite you into our home as a show of respect.
Huh. I do not trust you, shorewalker, but let it never be said that Doe of Crushing Tide was a coward. I accept your offer, but attempt any treachery or subterfuge and your people will drown in their own blood.
Very well, Master Doe. I look forward to a productive discussion. Let us return then. I shall send word to Null as well. I would have our Sahagan allies join us at the parley. Thank you for joining us here, Master Doe.
Psh, the air here sickens me. Be brief.
Aye, let us get straight to the heart of the matter. A common threat looms before us, one more powerful than any primal, with the potential to bring death without end to both Sahagan and Lominsan alike. These circumstances call for swift and united action. You doubt our intentions, but I remind you that we have liberated many of your kin from Leviathan's enthrallment. They and countless other Sahagan have joined us, of their own free will, that we may ensure the survival of both our peoples.
Aye, by their deeds have the Laminsans proven themselves worthy of our trust.
Master Doe, you and your crushing tide want only to secure a future for your people. I say to you, this can only be done by confronting this threat together.
Psh, threats! Threats! What is this threat you speak of? If it is unity you crave, then submit yourself to our command. Be as the serpent reavers. They are the only shore walkers I deign to call friend.
You would ask us to willingly surrender ourselves to your Lord of the Whirl.
I do, for that, and that alone will ensure peace between us. Preposterous! You propose not alliance, but servitude. This way lies nothing but death for all Sahagan. Do you hear this, my spawn brothers? The shore walkers have stolen this one's mind. He decries Lord Leviathan and espouses lunacy of our sworn foes. These treacherous wretches have abandoned our god and conspired to drive we faithful from our ancestral home. We must not let this stand. For shame! Forsaken by our spawn brothers, they side with the finless ones, and blaspheme our Lord Leviathan. They who steal our spawning grounds and slaughter our children, our future!
Do you believe us now, man? Do you believe us now?
Psh, behold this blessing! This blessing! Lord Leviathan grants us greater and greater strength!
This is not strength. You would call this a blessing?
Psh, such horrors! Flee for your lives!
Oh shoot. The beast makes for Aleport. I leave this place to you.
Psh, splendid! Let our spawn brothers be blessed with such power.
You're okay. They are Big Sag. Thought we could help you, man. Thought we could help you. All power comes at a price. This is true. That is so fair.
Shh. This is the second time you've saved my life, Shore Walker. My gratitude is as boundless as the sea. But what of the Admiral? We must go to her aid.
We're gonna find her. No worries. We got this. Got it, Had Ross. I was too late. I am sorry.
Shh, there is no need for apologies. You are not responsible for my people's plight. But what I cannot fathom is Doe's response. How pleased he was to see his brothers become slavering beasts.
The fool believes it a blessing from Leviathan himself. Any hope for a peaceable solution will be lost should Doe and his crushing tide manage to wield these transformations as a weapon against us.
I shuddered at the very thought, and yet the true heat, the blasphemy is still out there, yes?
Just so. The first ones to transform are those who have fallen into the deepest depths of despair. The more painful their anguish, the more fearsome and formidable they become in their bestial forms, and the greater their influence over others.
Psh, we can scarcely hope to stand against a legion of such foes. Would that there were more my people could do to help.
I will have the Maelstrom patrol the seas for the blasphemy, that we might slay it with all due haste. But this may well amount to naught if the blasphemy too was born from a Sahagan. It would be sheltering in the depths, beyond the reach of our ships.
In that case, pray allow my spawn brothers and I to serve as your eyes beneath the sea.
Thank you, Null. Though our efforts combined, we might yet weather this threat. As for your brothers, who gave their lives today for our cause, I shall see that they are returned home to be laid rest as they deserve.
Psh, you have my gratitude, Admiral.
With that, we should return as well. There is much work to be done, and would see it done quickly. Zordia, I was just sharing our findings. So you see, the danger is exactly as the Sahagins described. While Dao and his ilk have no means of forcibly triggering the phenomenon at present, 'tis plain they intend to seek one out. Redouble our patrols offshore, and inform me at the first sign of anything out of the ordinary.
It shall be done, Admiral.
I worry that we may be stretching ourselves too thin. Should the situation take a turn for the worse, I will recall our forces from Garlemald, yet I would reserve that as a last resort. For now, I must get to work securing reinforcements. I ask that you remain close by. We may have need of your strength all too soon.
The Admiral left a message for you. The news is not good. It appears that a Leminson merchant ship was assailed by a Sahagin raiding party affiliated with the Crushing Tide. To further complicate matters, the vessel in question was carrying a shipment of crystals supplied to us by the kobolds of Ogomoro.
It's good to see you safe, friend.
Thank you for coming, Zordia. The situation is grim. The Crushing Tide plundered one of our trading ships and seized a good stash of Ogomoro crystals.
Though their aim is clear, it appears they lack the quantity needed to perform the summoning. Dao longs for the days when every Sahagin cried out for Lord Leviathan's deliverance, and will stop at nothing to see them return. I cannot fathom what the Crushing Tide are thinking, what satisfaction, what happiness can be found in giving over their hearts and minds to a false god.
And so we must thwart their designs, lest the bonds we have forged be forever broken. By the same token, we cannot ignore blasphemy, nor the transformation its presence may bring about. A battle on two fronts, neither of which we can commit to at the expense of the other. As we sail into the eye of the storm, I would hear your counsel. What course of action would you propose? Might we turn to the three great pirate powers for aid? Let us recruit the Yellow Jackets to the cause. Sounds like a job for the Company of Heroes. Might we turn to the three great pirates? As it happens, I've already enlisted the executioners, the Krakens, and the Sirens to the cause. They've done much to bolster the Maelstrom's efforts to scour the sea for the blasphemy. So, if we're to seek reinforcements, we have to turn elsewhere. But to who? Let us recruit the Yellow Jackets to the cause. The Yellow Jackets are spread thin, keeping the coast safe from the Crushing Tide and their raids. We cannot afford to dilute their ranks any further. No, we must look to another party for assistance, I'm afraid. Any other ideas? Wow, I got all of the answers wrong. Sounds like a job for the Company of Heroes. The Company of Heroes? Now that's a name I've not heard in some time. 'Tis true that they answered the call many a time. Indeed, other than you and yours, there are arguably none better suited to the task of primal slaying. But they disbanded over 5 years ago, and neither hide nor hair has been seen of their commander since. Absent their leader, I suspect they will be reluctant to join our cause. And yet, I can think of no better option. I'll contact Waistcoat, their erstwhile commander's right-hand man, and see if he will not hear us out. I will ask him to meet us at the Drowning Wench. Let us hope he is receptive to our offer. To Limsa we go! Noel, might I trust you and your brothers to continue the search for the blasphemy in the meantime?
But of course, Admiral. Should we discover anything, you will be the first to know.
My apologies for the delay. You are alone. And here I swore 5 years ago that I was done playing hero. Hey! Could someone explain what this is all about? Believe it or not, I am a respectable man with respectable obligations these days. Take that pole arm out your arse, old friend, and stop pretending you're not still a murderous bastard at heart. Wash that wicked tongue of yours, Uod, lest I skewer it and prove you right.
Nothing like a reunion with dear companions over a bottle of the wench's finest vintage.
That is why we're here, right?
Yes. Maintain no Elcott, Atlantis. Reflex is coming to see gobby friends again.
I haven't done Gobby voice in a long time. Thank you for assembling on such short notice. Spare us the pleasantries, Admiral, but why are we here? I make a simple request. Reform the company of heroes and lend Limsa your strength. It's got a reason, I'm sure. I would hear it. Here is the reason. So there you have it. A terrible fiend known as a blasphemy prowls our seas, transforming the Sahagin into ravening beasts. At the same time, the Sahagin themselves, specifically a hostile faction, calling themselves the Crushing Tide, had declared their intentions to summon Leviathan anew. Should they succeed, we would be hard-pressed to deal with the Primal, while still dealing with the other threats. A right pickle, indeed. But the answer is no. The commander disbanded the company, and as his first mate, it's not my place to gainsay his final order. Sod that, I say! Have you forgotten our company's creed? The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. Are the people now in danger? Not the same men and women we fought to defend years ago. The commander would not have turned his back on them, and neither should we. Bold words, Landonel. But do you truly believe we can honor them as we are? Old mercenaries past their prime, lacking the commander whose wisdom and prowess saw them to glory once upon a time. Ah, yes, your commander. What if Zordia here were to lead you in his stead? Surely you would not question her abilities.
An intriguing proposition. I, for one, would not be averse to serving under such a decorated hero.
Gobby friend has goodly head for fighty think, and goodly arms for a thinky fight.
As ringing an endorsement as any, but I would hear it from the woman herself. Do you believe you are capable of leading the company of heroes into battle? If you've the stones to follow me. Better battle than a banquet. If you've the stones to follow me. Now that's the confidence I expect from my commander. Very well then, consider us yours to lead. 5 years to the day, truth be told, I was enjoying the more leisurely life, but when duty calls...
Wait, before we proceed, I must ask, have we no way of reaching out to the commander?
Forgotten how he took his leave, have we? Upon vanishing so we could each find our own way. Apart from him and the company, I doubt we'll see him again, much as I wish we could. To the matter at hand, the missions you will undertake. First, you are to aid tracking down the blasphemy that roams the sea. Second, you must prevent the Crushing Tide from summoning Leviathan at all cost.
Oh, is that all?
And there I thought we might get our feet wet with a real challenge. But in all seriousness, we should take care to decide who attends to what. Sounds like a job for our acting commander. I'm sure she'll give it all due consideration. Waistgate may be skeptical, but I for one have little doubt you will prove a worthy commander for the company of heroes. The others may gripe and groan, but not me. I'll be the first to admit that I missed the action.
Brayflox happily gives canned lending to Outlander.
Thanks, Brayflox. Please think twice before assigning me to the same group as Landonel. I don't know what's worse, his tendency to wave his lance in people's faces, or all the shouting and blustering he engages in while doing so. Have we finished with all the logistical nonsense? I'm eager for a taste of the old violence. You know the flavor. So if I understand this correctly, we're to bring down this so-called blasphemy. Of course, to do that, we'll need to find the damn thing first. We've also got to prevent the Crushing Tide from summoning their god Leviathan. Tall order, in and of itself. As acting commander, it's your job to decide who will be doing what, based on the skills we have to offer. I'd recommend that you start by having a chat with each of us, that you might develop a sense of the strengths and weaknesses, mostly strengths, of course, of the storied veterans under your command. Okay. Oh, it's this. Bum, bum. My specialty, you ask? Why, impaling fiends with this lance of mine, of course. The stronger the foe, the better. None are a match for me. It would be folly to waste my talent on dealing with those slippery fishmen. Set me against the so-called blasphemy and I'll have the thing on a skewer before you can say Merle will blowfist win. Pursuing and slaying the blasphemy. A wise choice. Send Landonel after the Sahagin, and he's like to help them summon Leviathan to sate his bloodlust. I will speak plain. I'm not some battle-crazed barbarian like Landonel. As Na of the U, a tribe of peerless hunters, I conduct my affairs with discipline and prudence. As such, I know better than any that to rush headlong into battle is rarely the best course of action. Far wiser it is to observe from afar and proceed with caution, preventing the primal summoning. Very astute, if I do say so myself. There are few better suited to the task of averting needless bloodshed than the famously circumspect ZorDon.
As you well know, my vision is somewhat lacking these days. I can still defend myself when necessary, but I'd rather it not come to that. My condition also leaves me rather unsuited to scouting and searching. It wasn't always the case, but such is life. On the other hand, I'd like to think I've gotten quite good at sounding out the intentions of others during negotiations and the like.
And you will prevent. What happens if you, answer these wrong? You have a keen sense for these things, I see. More so than reconnaissance or battle. Shamani has a knack for working behind the scenes to see the company's goals achieved.
Reflex Master, remaker of Illuminati treasures, offers much hand-lending with ingenuity. Far-seeing spyglass seas far into ocean deep. Crackfires go boom and blast beasts into bitty pieces.
You're gonna slay the blasphemies. A logical choice, if I do say so myself. Brayflox's mastery of tools and armaments are sure to avail you in tracking and felling that beast. It would seem everyone has their assignments, and I dare say the choices you've made are nigh impeccable. If I didn't know better, I'd think you'd been leading us for years. Heck to the yeah. And with that, it is time we got to work. I have procured link pearls for one and all, that we can keep each other apprised of our progress. You may pick them up from Maelstrom Command. We'd best be off too then. Should we have need to regroup or reconsider our strategy, call for us. Alright, we'll do that. I'll return to command and share these developments here with the Secretariat and our Sahagin friends. Do join me if you can, Commander Zordia. I'm a commander!
Zordia, the Admiral has apprised me of the situation in full.
Furnish Zordia with a link pearl, yes?
Of course, Admiral.
It would seem the company is trying to reach us. Ho there, Commander! Just give the word and I'll come running. Lower your goddamn voice, will you? Watch your tongue and I'll track you down and rip yours out!
They sound more like mortal enemies than old companions.
That's where Zordia comes in. I'm trusting you to whip them back into shape. Make them a force to be reckoned with. And I will have the Secretariat contact you if there are any developments. I would convey them to the entire company by link pearl, but we cannot afford anyone taking reckless action. In the meantime, I will reach out to Null and see what he has gleaned about the Crushing Tide and their hideout. Let's hope for good tidings, Commander.
Grave news, Zordia. We've just received word that Candlekeep Quay is under attack. It would seem the Crushing Tide has struck again. The Admiral asked that you deploy the Company of Heroes at once. Our man here will act as your signaler.
The Company of Heroes is awaiting your orders. Candlekeep Quay! Both Landonel and ZorDon should be close by. What are your instructions? Landonel, drive the Crushing Tide away. Consider it done, Commander! See the residents to safety. Understood. The rest of us will head there at once.
I'll tell the Admiral you and the Company of Heroes are on your way. Godspeed!
Good to know my colleagues haven't grown rusty in the years since we disbanded.
Reflex treasures go boom! Blast fishymen to bitty bits!
Is that all? And I was just getting warmed up. You kept us waiting long enough, Commander. Not that I'm complaining. More fishmen for me to skewer. Worry not, the tide has already ebbed. If you follow my meaning. Perhaps you're curious how your men carried out your orders. You'll be pleased to hear that Landonel led the attack with his characteristic aplomb, dancing among his foes with such speed and ferocity that were dizzying to watch. ZorDon made full use of his talents in leading the rescue effort. Not a single man, woman, or child suffered so much as a scratch. I had my doubts at first, but you've passed your first trial as captain with flying colors. I thought I'm commander, not captain. The battle is over, I see. 'Tis good to see the company of heroes can still live up to its name. I demand answers. Why did you target Candlekeep Quay?
I spit on your questions, filthy shore walker.
I was hoping we might do this the easy way, but if you insist...
So you would torture us? You shore walkers are all the same, you savage brutes, the lot of you.
Torture? Please, we are not so uncivilized as that, my slippery friend.
Greyflock shiny treasure will have fishermen trading contracts in no time.
Allow me to explain. Shamani Lomani and Brayflocks are well practiced in the art of interrogation. Shamani has a sharp mind, as I'm sure you've noticed, and a knack for getting information out of uncooperative types with minimum fuss. Brayflocks, on the other hand, her methods can be unconventional, to say the least, but it's hard to argue with the results. Well, Commander, the choice is yours to make. Brayflocks, I choose you! Shamani Lamani is my man. But of course, Commander, watch as I get him talking without so much as lifting a finger. They tell me your kind is particularly fond of Lenosian oranges. Might I interest you in a glass of delightful orange wine brewed from our latest harvest?
This is another glass, shore walker. I demand it in return for the crimes you have committed against my spawn brothers. We have a deal, shore walker, for a cask of that blissful beverage. I will tell you all my secrets.
Again, I ask, why did you target Candlekeep Quay?
Doe himself gave the order. Said we must establish a foothold in preparation for our assault on the city.
He means to attack Limsa itself, but with your numbers that would be folly.
Speaker Dow commands power beyond the comprehension of you shore walkers.
We have dealt with Leviathan before.
You misunderstand. Speaker Dow says it is a greater power still, the very first being blessed by our Lord.
The blasphemy. Tell me where Dow is.
An island far to the south and east. There he performs the rite that will summon forth the Divine One and deliver my brothers and I to glory.
Thank you for your cooperation. All for orange. I suspect that Dow is hiding out somewhere in the Seal Delays, a deserted isle most likely. I don't know much about these so-called blasphemies, but can they truly be tamed so easily? We have no evidence they can, but we must operate under the assumption that Dow has found a way. I will ready a ship. We set sail for Seal Delays at once. Prepare yourselves and meet me at the docks as soon as you are ready. I'll have Shamani and Brayflocks continue the interrogation in the meantime. Our friends here might still be hiding something from us. This is the enemy's stronghold. Never forget that they have the advantage. I don't know a blasphemy from a hole in the ground. All I know is that I'm ready to kill the bleeding thing. Let's see how this blasphemy likes my axe between its eyes. Everyone is here. Good. We make for the Seal Delays in search of Dow's hideout. Our friend Noel will be waiting for us there. The blasphemy, too, may be present. Be vigilant and keep your weapons at the ready. Well, Commander, do you have any words for your men on the eve of battle? All for one, one for all. The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. Aw, that was cute. We meet again, Dow. Where is the blasphemy? Tell us now so we may end this madness. It's a trap! It's a trap! Oh, she is. This is a big boy. Speak of the bloody devil.
There it is, the dread beast I saw beneath the waves.
The source of our woes. Oh? The echo of all the times. Bruh! Really? Defend the commander! What? Echo, really?
Shh! I bring grave tidings, my queen. The wretched shore walkers poison the minds of my spawn brothers with false words and foul magics. Our poor beguiled brethren renounce Lord Leviathan and name him a false god. They treat with Limsa Lominsa, and some even call for an alliance. We must summon him, that our lost might receive his blessing anew. This I would gladly do, our stock of crystals had not run dry. Spawning time is nearly upon us, yet you fight and bicker amongst yourselves. How am I to birth a new brood when my children grown stand divided? Who dares enter the secret chamber? Shh! Forgive my intrusion, Queen Mother. I speak for the Sahagan who seek an accord with the shore walkers. A new age is upon us. We needn't turn to false gods or foemen. Bitterness and bloodshed in our precious spawning grounds. The shore walkers have changed. They endeavor to understand us, to share these lands with us, that they may have peace, and we are spawning grounds. Could this be true? Lies! Lies! Do not be deceived by the one's delusions, my queen. He is a heathen who has strayed from Lord Leviathan's light. The shore walkers are oath-breakers now and forevermore. As they extend one hand in friendship, they clutch a dagger in the other. We are beasts in their eyes, deserving of naught but slaughter. Oh, for a blessed moment I felt the faintest touch of hope. But you are right, Tao. They are demons, and we are damned. Oh, for woe, my poor children have lost their faith, their minds poisoned. By lies they turn away from the Lord of the Wall, and cast their lot with the enemy. 'Tis so, my queen, 'tis so. We have no choice but to abandon our sacred spawning grounds and sink to the ocean's floor to rot and decay. Thou dearest of my children, you tell then that we have no future. How can I bring new life to this world knowing that my brood will...
Oh, shoot.
I cannot!
Aw, damn.
What's happening?
She was pregnant, too.
Please, my queen, you must calm yourself. Such power, such beauty. A blessing from Lord Leviathan himself.
You just killed your mom and your bruh. Seriously, Echo? So this is a blasphemy, eh? I can see what all the fuss was about. Have your wits about you. Good, if you can fight, now is the time. Don't worry. I thought we were gonna control Merlweb. For a second, I got really excited.
Strike now, my queen! Send the shore walkers, their honorless leader, to her death.
Why you... what? What's happening? I can't feel my legs. We can't lose Merlweb.
Why, mother? Are we not your children, too?
Oh, he just stepped on him. Bruh. Damn. Rip. The biggest of rips. Oh, that's not good. Damn it, we cannot weather another blow like the last. It's the commander! I bet. Here we go, here we go. Still don't know what in seven hells just happened, but I'll be damned if I'm going to go down without a fight. Steady, the beast is feeding on our aether. We'll not survive a head-on fight. Landinel, Uod, Remember the company's stratagem when faced with overwhelming odds. Retreat, retreat, let's get ourselves the bloody hells out of here. That was the commander right now. Is that him? That's the commander? The real commander? What?
Where are the other beasts we faced also once, my spawn brothers? I cannot bear the thought.
So that was the blasphemy. Intriguing creature. For the first time in many summers, we find ourselves with a worthy foe. Face to face with the damned beast. And I could barely lift my spear. Next time, mark my words, that bastard fish is going to pay. When no path to victory can be found, flee and fight another day. It might not be the kind of approach that make a bard sing your praises, but it's kept us alive, and that's enough. Damn it all. We'd have better luck holding back the tide. How goes it, friends? Is what I would normally ask, but judging from the muttering and muttered cursing, I gather did not go all that well. We barely escaped with our lives. To think the damned beast had the power to stop us in our tracks. Literally. What do we know of the creature's origins? Was it once a Sahagin, as you suspected? So it was the mother! Mayhap the echo afforded Zordia some insight. Yeah, I saw everything. So this is what happened. That's actually the mother with children turned.
Shh! Thou's villainy knows no bounds, sowing seeds of despair in our queen mother's heart, that she might transform into that monstrosity.
If she was the first to turn, then there was nothing deliberate about it. Still, it's clear that his words served as a catalyst. If we kill the blasphemy, it'll be tantamount to killing the Sahagin's queen. That's not going to endear us to them one bit.
Shh, I cannot turn my spear against the mother who birthed me, let alone take her life.
Out of curiosity, did anyone see who fired the shot? Were it not for them, we'd all be dead. Was your commander, I think. Pretty sure. I know not, but we must formulate a plan, and quickly. My scouts tell me that the blasphemy has left the island and now roams the open sea. I will order them to continue the search. In the meantime, we must find a means to overcome the beast's formidable offense. Leave that to us. Time and again, we've used our wits and experience to triumph over the longest odds. To defend your enemy, first you must know your enemy. Tell me, Commander, what do you reckon was the most valuable knowledge we gleaned from our initial encounter? Has the power to absorb aether. I concur. Now that we know how the beast disables its foes, we can use this knowledge to devise a proper defense against it. But that is not all we have learned. While the blasphemy can maneuver through the water, it also frequents caves and the like. Our best chance of defeating it would be in such a place. Our only chance, I dare say. I will send scouts to identify any and all large caverns and coastal areas that could serve as shelter for a massive creature, to ensure the safety of our people, and to have any hope for peace with the Sahagin. This is a battle we must win. All your strength and wisdom will be needed in the days to come. Dismissed. Now that we have seen what the blasphemy is capable of ourselves, 'tis more plain to me than ever that it must be slain. Reach out to all trade ships entering and departing Limsa. Inform them that any sightings of the blasphemy are to be reported to the Maelstrom Command at once.
Understood, but given the beast's abilities, how do you intend to overcome it?
I trust that the company of heroes in Zordia, experienced primal slayers all, will find a way. And yet I would leave no resource untapped. There is one more whose expertise I would call upon, if you would agree. Even Waystgate is at a loss as to his former commander's whereabouts, but mayhap Einzar could offer some guidance. No doubt you are still fatigued from the battle with the blasphemy. Pray rest while you are able. When we are ready to take further action, you will hear from me. Till then, take care.